All right, in this video they're asking us to multiply the two binomials together. Most people refer to this operation as FOIL, but actually it's really just the distributive property. So in other words, we're going to make sure that everything in this parenthesis gets multiplied by everything in this parenthesis. So in other words, I'll make sure the x multiplies by the x, and this x multiplies by the 7, and then the minus 4 times the x, and then the minus 4 times the positive 7. So let's go ahead and do that one by one. Starting with the x term, we'll distribute that into each piece. So in other words, I'm going to make sure that this x multiplies by this x, and remember x times x will give you x squared because we keep the base and add the exponents, and then it'll be x times positive 7, and that'll give you plus 7x. Okay, so you've multiplied this x by both pieces of the second binomial. Now you want to continue on by dealing with the minus 4. So it'll be minus 4 times x, which gives you negative 4x, and then minus 4 times a positive 7, which is going to give you a negative 28. Now at that point, you want to combine like terms, so we'll see that these guys are like terms. They have the same variable to the same power. So let's copy down the x squared first, and then we're going to say 7x minus 4x. Well, if we have 7 x's and we take away 4 x's, we're left with a positive 3 x's, right? And then we have minus 28 at the end. At this point, you have a trinomial, and all the terms are unlike, which means you cannot combine them any further. So we have our answer, x squared plus 3x minus 28. All right, let's look at the next one. The next problem has the same basic approach. We have to multiply the two binomials. And again, we'll take this x and multiply it by the x here, and then x times negative 5. Once we finish that, we'll work with the 6. We'll do minus 6 times x and minus 6 times minus 5. All right, so let's begin with the x times x. So if I do x times x, I will end up with x squared. Remember, we keep the base and add the exponents. And if I do x times negative 5, I'll have negative 5x. All right, and then taking the 6, I'll have negative 6 times x. That'll give me negative 6x. And then finally, I have negative 6 times negative 5, which will give me positive 30. All right, at this point, I want to combine like terms, and again, the two middle terms here are like terms because they have the same variable to the same power. So I'll copy down my x squared, and then I have minus 5x and minus 6x. They're both negative, so it'll give me negative 11x's, right? Plus 30. And there's my final answer. Again, I have a trinomial, and the terms here are all unlike, which means we cannot combine them. And so our final answer is x squared minus 11x plus 30.